Okay, so I'm gonna pick up where I left off. Like I said, heterosexuals are weak, and they forgot how to f. I can't say it, but they forgot what marriage is about. Okay, let's say you know you know why they call it conjugal duties, because you're supposed to do do it regardless. It's like a necessity. So now you have women and marriage, like I say, you can't, a house equally divided can't stand. So if you have one that says, no, we're not gonna have sex, period. Now I'm not saying, any man that loves his wife like he loves his own body, if he knows his wife is tired or a situation or having a problem, he's gonna be compassionate and concerned about her needs and go to the bathroom with some Vaseline and toilet paper. Anyway, relieve the pressure. This is no longer an argument. He can't argue, man, argue about it. In given situations, okay. But the thing about it is that we've gotten to the point where women are complaining about their man cheating on them, but because they're so equal that they don't have to give them sex, and that's part of their marriage contract. In the old days, and this is why I kind of agree with some people who say, some people who say that, some women who say, well, I want some nice things and stuff like that. They want some monies, they want some return and stuff like that. It should be on an annual salary, not on a per diem basis, is what I say. But anyway, anyway, in the old days, there was always money involved with sex. And money involved with marriage. If a man lost a daughter, you had your suitor or whoever would come, or betrothed or whatever, would have to replace that man with some money. That's the way it worked in some natural things. And I do believe there's some natural things of how the principles are the same. Okay, so a man should have some money. A man should have what is degree is needed. You should have yourself a little nest egg together before you get married. Okay, but anyway, let's go back to this now. So now women make their own money and they're equal on the jobs and stuff like that. Now they have the sense of power and authority. And they have such a strong sense of power. You have doctors. They're doctors and they're lawyers and they're high powered, right? That don't mean macho. It don't mean man. It means you got a good job. Your family can do well. You can bring in some bacon. Okay, like I said earlier, it's a good thing God made a man before he made woman and gave him authority, because if the woman was there, man would have been broke. He wouldn't have got it. And like I also like it too, like my father is born before me. That you can't change that. Just like my older brother is born before me. So if he's first right, that's why in the old days they used to fight for birthrights, actually, and land and who get properties and stuff like that. My oldest brother has the family house. I think that's right. Regardless of how he got it, he's the oldest brother. It was actually offered to me. I didn't actually want it, at the time, because I had it already time, and I knew how my family was. Anyway, didn't mean to go there. But what I'm saying, so family rights, the reason why the Jews is fighting with the Arabs is for inheritance, birthright, and all that stuff for the land of Israel, is birthright. But the one who is first, the one is usually gets a so likening the same principle to man and a woman, if you believe in the Bible. And I say, if you don't believe in the Bible, then you can do any decrepit, immoral thing that you want, as long as you agree to it. Okay, you could you don't believe in the Bible and a reason why not to do certain things, then basically, no other system other than the government. Then you basically have the government for that. They'll put you in jail. But there's no internal reason, to do the right thing. When you have the Bible, you have an internal reason. If you only have the government, you have an external reason to do the right thing. That's it. So anyway, so now we have women that say they are equal to man, even though they're clearly very different, and they have different roles. And now you have these women with money and power, and now they can't come home. And when a man says he wants to have sex, she's like, "Look, I'm the boss. You put on a little mini skirt and you put on the high heels. I've been walking around all day in high heels. I ain't got to do nothing for you. I don't have to cook. You better order out. Here's some money." Now they have the sense of power and authority. But, like I say, it's not based on the external things, the sense of authority. So now you have these women that are like, "No, you rub my feet. You draw a bath for me." And any man that loves his wife, he gonna do that regardless. Okay, but these women say that that's their entitlement, and because they make more money than men, now they don't have to do attention. That nowhere does it say that. So now they don't have now these women. And really, I'm gonna tell you how I believe, and this is getting personal. I believe the whole sexual act has a sense of, authority and domination and all of that stuff to it. I really do believe. I believe that man is in a more dominant position in most cases. I mean, he's the one doing like this. About a woman generally can't rape a man. A man, he penetrates. He in most cases, when a man dances, like he leads, he controls the tempo to sex. He makes the beat. So to speak. That woman is like, no, do it this way. Did y'all ever see that? What's that movie with Wesley Snipes? The one woman was so aggravating. No, faster, slower. It's all about them, and it's all about their satisfaction and whether they are happy or not. And marriage is not about just being happy. That's a fallacy. That's a fantasy. That's TV. Okay, so my big point, and the reason why I named this is Bloodline, is because now you have these women with power, and now she's got a power and she's controlling man, and now she's gonna bend over in front of a man. Some women can't do it because they have too much authority, And so, and like I say, the sexual positions and stuff, when a woman is on top, they generally, cowboy or whatever, like she's in control now, but when a woman is underneath or backed up, it is the man that is in the position of, talking about sexually, that's what way my mind works. I might be kooky, but in that respect, but you don't have to agree with me, and I won't argue that point. I will not argue that one, but the problem is now these women who think they're equal, have authority, who aren't willing to submit when a man says have sex, let's have sex. And now they don't feel like they have to submit to a man, or they have options when it comes, these artificial genetic options or sperm banks or whatever, when they don't know the person. Then they go, it's like, these women, I joked about Amazon women. These women are now super women. They're literally Amazons, and they only use men for the sperm to reproduce the mother of the race, of women. And there's a girl who said that if she had a baby, she would abort it if it was male. I had her on my page. I'm not going to name her now. But, literally, they're just only concerned about making females, right? So, but this is the thing. is that when you go to a sperm bank, they don't test the character or the genes or the characteristic of that sperm. So when a woman thinks she can just option out and go and get some sperm, she don't know if she getting the sperm from a murderer. Okay, so literally, and you say those things. I know a woman who had a child, had a girl by by a guy who was a murderer. She didn't know it. She found out later. And then they separated, divorce, went about his business. I don't think he even took care of the child. I don't think the child even knew. I don't know. But the girl that she had by this guy wound up murdering somebody. It was an accidental death, but she was attracted to people who were really violent murderer people. And then the guy almost killed her, and she took a knife and slit his throat while they were having sex. So, I talk about, she got on top of him. She was in control, and, he was tied up, and she took a knife and cut his throat. Because, they had this thing where they were punching and fighting. I'm not mentioning the person. But what I'm saying is women that think that they are optioning out and that they can go, and this is why they say marriage is the protection of your bloodline, because you don't know who you bringing into your bloodline, or what sins they're carrying, or what, generational curses or what that you are taking when you take somebody's sperm. So a lot of women who think that it is just, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. At least if you marry a man and you know he's a damn fool, you know what type of foolery it is. What kind of tomfoolery it is. So that's just a point I want to bring up. And marriage is to protect those things. Well, you could pretty much say, if there is a gene in your and all of your men in your family. I got 7 brothers. They try to say that the youngest one is going to be homosexual. That's a damn lie. I got 7 brothers. Ain't none of them homosexuals. Not that I know of, at least. And they try to say I am. I'll beat their butt if they do. But anyway, but the thing about it is those are some of those concerns that I was saying about that. Is that if you have, that's why actors and artists, like famous ones, they marry actors and rock stars, because they know it's a form of breeding. So you be careful when you go to a sperm bank. Ask them to do a morality check on that sperm. God bless you all.